Kita dah live dah. Dah, kita dah live dah.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to all. Welcome to our 19th session of webinar series Leaders of Enterprise, LOE, brought to you by Faculty of Engineering, University Technology Malaysia, Johor Bahru. We are initiating the university industry collaboration to have a platform with our industry to share their thoughts and experience. We are now streaming live from the Faculty of Engineering Facebook page and as well as YouTube channel. My name is Libretti Zardasti, Senior Lecturer from School of Civil Engineering. Faculty of Engineering will be your host for today's session. We are very grateful to have our speaker, Encik Ahmad SirwanB Tuselim, the Principal for Pipeline Engineering of the Group Technical Solution, Project Delivery and Technology, Petronas. Assalamualaikum Encik Sirwan.
Salam. So I share my screen.
Yes. No, yeah. Assalamualaikum Encik Sirwan. Hi.
Salam. Yeah.
Thank you for accepting our invitation. It is our privilege to have you with us today. So before I hand over the session to you, let me read your biography to introduce you to our viewers. So Encik Sirwan graduated with Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering from University of Strathclyde, Glasgow, Scotland. He has 29 years experience in the project management, integrity and risk assessment, engineering, construction and commissioning of crude oil, gas, liquid hydrocarbon, produced water and raw water pipelines for Petronas projects in Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia and Sudan. He is currently a principal in pipeline engineering in Petronas Group Technical Solution GTS. He works now concentrate towards specialized engineering services such fitness for service, risk-based integrity planning, pipeline integrity management system, pipeline life extension studies, quantitative risk assessment, root cause failure analysis, and deliver pipeline engineering services to Petronas operating units and joint ventures. He is active in developing and updating Petronas technical standards and also Malaysian standards related to pipeline. He is disciplined resource person, assessor, line trainer and leadership team of Petronas Skill Group 11th Pipeline. So that's a short introduction of Encik Sirwan, and I believe the audience are waiting for your sharing. So without further ado, I hand this session to you to share your experience and knowledge with us on the topic of pipeline digital twins. So over to you, Encik Sirwan. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lee.
All right.
Dr. Lee. Screen.
Yes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about digital twin. It's pipeline community in it's introduced by Tuselim. Now I'm more towards the pipeline integrity, which is during the operation stage, and now already in product 30 years in.
Cik Sirwan, can you adjust a little bit your mic because it is not very clear. Can you adjust a little bit? All right. Can you speak? Okay. Now much clearer. All right. Good.
Clear.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. First of all, you need to set the context setting. Basically, what is the digital twin? I think some of you might know this thing. But let me say the definition of this thing. The digital twin basically is a digital twin is a visual representative of a system or asset that calculates system states and make system information available through integrated models and data, and the purpose of providing decision support over its life cycle. If you can see, the keyword basically is a visual representative of a system or asset. Okay, that's one of the key item. Second is basically uh, the integrated models and data. I think without that one, is not used. We need to have a integrated models and data. And last but not least, is basically is providing decision support over its life cycle. So you can see it's providing decision support. Basically, we still need a human intervention here, but quite less than now lah basically. So this is the keyword of this digital twin. And for the definition, basically, the digital need a physical system representative. You can see in the sketch, you see the platform there, and we have a model of that platform in the computer, and it can give the all the analytic models and information models, 3D visual, time domain, a sensor, software driven algorithm, and the visual communication network. So it's basically all information of the asset is available for the models of digital twin. And you can see that one in the C. It can be dynamic information or streaming real data, and also related to the system. It can be for a pumps only, compressor only, or pipeline only, and also it can cover the whole system like multiple digital twin. It can be largely entitled like a plant, a platform, a factory, ship, building, or a city. You can do anything for this thing. So it's depend of your objective. For this case, I'm looking for the pipeline digital twin. I think from there, I think we can set aside from that one. Okay, why we need a digital twin? And again, a question: why should we digital enhance and rethink our current process? You need to you need to do the now current process, or you want to improve your process, or what? And another thing, do you our workforce are ready? Do you equip your forces with the equipment, training regarding that thing? And one more thing is basically how your competitor basically. So do your competitor do also? So I think if you wait for the last thing, I think we are obsolete later on. Okay, with the current global and energy situation, do you have an option? I give the three example. Sustainability. I think people will talk about this thing. Sustainability, carbon taxes. Is the investor talking about this thing, and your consumer pressure regarding this thing. And I think they're very famous now is COVID-19. I think today, MCO started again, and from there you can see all these things disrupt. All need to have a physical distance and a remote distributed workforce. You can imagine, I performed this webinar in my home. I can imagine last time. I think last time maybe I need to go to UTM or in the office, but now I have a home, my own home to do this webinar. And lastly, basically demand destruction, energy instruction, renewable energy, and carbon reduction. For your info, Petronas already embarked this moving forward together, as one of the thing is basically zero net zero for the carbon reduction, and we target 2050 to get net zero for carbon emission. Okay, from there you can see more industry companies have turned this to digital twin to improve their return on asset. How about yours? So Petronas is looking for that also. Not only a pipeline, others also already started, like supply chains, like LNG supply chains. There are few things that I can mention that one, but everybody is looking for this thing to improve their return of asset. Okay, what's the element of digital twin? So you need to have an input. You need to do analysis and output. I think you can remember last time, rubbish in, rubbish out. So you need to do the input. You need to check the input. And the input can be data stream, it can event or transition, master data, documentation, metadata, or data history. This is the data input required. More are coming. And then you need to do analyze. How you analyze? Last time more manual calculation, but now you're talking about how you do the computation model, and now algorithm. This keyword algorithm. How you how you compute that thing to put into algorithm model. You can calculate for you, and also search the algorithm that may be available in the market, or maybe that developed by researchers, or maybe UTM can search, can share this thing for to us. I think we can collaborate with this one more. And later on, the output is more the interaction, visualization, or recommended action. This one can support our decision support later. And digital twin need also have a foundation, domain knowledge. I think this is very important. We need to have a specialized this thing better. For info, Petronas also looking for the functional competency of all engineering. Basically, we need to have a digital and analytic savviness. So we are looking for that not only engineering, we are looking also they know how to do the data scientist work. Maybe at least review the data scientist work. Uh, Also in sensor infrastructure, we need to do have a sensor that can get the real-time data, not only the by inspection, and asset model information. Cyber security, I think very important since in our in digital era. Cyber security also need to be taken care. I think not only they can crash our computers, not only that they can steal our information. And integration between all the party, and maybe later on between the discipline, maybe between the all the parties, maybe better with all the oil and gas operator, we don't know. And also the change management, this need require because all the work process and I think need to be changed to suit development. Okay, we're talking about the element. Now we're talking about the strategic objective, how to driving the future operation. So if you're talking about oil and gas operator, they said they need to have a decision making fast. And how to that down, you need to get a real time optimization using the real time data. Nowadays we're using the inspection data maybe 5 years, 3 years. So maybe the data is not good enough. What we need is a real time data, and not only real time data, we need to have an increased reliability and asset runtime. It's more on the optimization of decision making. But only that, we need, as I mentioned before, we need to have a digital enabled business and workforce. Without the human intervention now, it's a waste. So we need to have to drive workforce, especially through the automation. We're talking about how they tackle the data, not only using the data, but also how to trending the data and create a digital platform to improve the employee quality of life and customer experience. And last but not least, you're talking about cash flow. This is a main goal. Basically, we need to have a safety and decrease emission of sustainability, like this carbon zero reduction, and also utilize the predictive analytic. When you have this information history, the trending, you can do is set the trending. Then later on, you can predict, let's say the corrosion can appear later on. Okay, you can see this one is talking about the asset development, asset management, by integrity, which is risk and LI, asset operation, and HSE. Okay, back to our business. Basically, pipeline digital twin. Okay, for pipeline digital twin, basically will assist the oil and gas field operator in minimizing the OPEX and also predictive maintenance schedule when needed to avoid failure in the pipeline system. Okay, these are all the keyword: avoid failure system, pipeline system. And we need to predict maintenance. We don't need to have a time-based maintenance or inspection, but we need to predict the maintenance. Maybe not need to have a time-based punya Now we're talking about risk, and later on we can predict the maintenance schedule. Then you can see all this towards the improvement pipeline performance, integrity, and proactively reduce and eliminate pipeline downtime, allow better collaboration and visualization, and also improve workforce productivity, which is eliminate all the risk, operation, and maintenance costs. Okay, you can see all the picture now. And basically, the picture show that if you see the movie of Iron Man, it's something like that. So we can visualize all the thing, we can touch the screen, and we can monitor where this thing without and also the 3D. Now you think of the drawing, and the drawing is 2D, very boring. I think sometimes you cannot see the whole picture, but now you can see in the picture visualization, and you can touch where you want to see. Okay, the digital twin throughout asset life cycle. Okay, for the life cycle, I think from fit usually front end engineering design. What our concept is here, and from the design stage, fabrication, maybe the for pipelines basically can talk about the line pipe manufacturing here, installation or construction and operation. You can put there in the two teams, basically the digital twin during design and also the digital during operation. Okay, like when we talk about the design, the design basically you need to start from the early design stage, maybe the concept, because this one related to the cost also. So it can be modeling and simulation of the line. Line pipe manufacturing, basically you can start during the line pipe manufacturing. What you need to put the sensor or something during the line pipe manufacturing before they install in the site. Drawing generation. Okay, now it's huge time consuming to do the drawing generation. From here, you can put that in the place for digital twin. Installation tracking. Okay, when you do the construction, you can monitor the installation. NDT welding assessment. This one another thing also. Later I will share you the information. This one basically the concept first. Expert verification. Okay, when you install, we need to have an expert to detect all the changes and incorporate in the drawing. So you can do this for expert verification, and maybe you can put the visual commissioning without many people over there in the platform or in the remote area. You can do the visual commissioning. Okay, for operation basically you can do without predictive, you can put the prescriptive maintenance. This one the higher level, you know how to prescribe the maintenance. Process automation, supply chain, again I mentioned before, not only until here, because you can go the supply chain, because you can go from the one like Charagali to others, LNG, something like that. It's more towards the interfacing with others, and also the supply chain to the consumer in Tokyo or whatever. Energy management, real-time IO data, and also analytic and alert, safety alert, all like that. You can put in the digital twin in operation. And this one benefit basically, you can increase the throughput, you can increase the availability, shorter project duration, or improve engineering operator competency. So basically, all here you can see the benefit here. Okay, as mentioned before, you can see. Okay, let me put this thing in the correct manner. For Petronas, we have two things, basically brownfield and also greenfield. So greenfield basically is new project. Brownfield basically is the existing operation. So the existing operation, I think you cannot do this one because already passed. But the new pipeline project, we can set a pilot. Set pilot. You can start from the pipeline tracking with the RFID. You can see RFID like we tracking our tolls for the car. And this one basically checking or treat the jointing. Because the jointing very important for the pipeline, because that one may be the weakest link of the pipeline. So we can track that one from the manufacturing, and later on it can bring towards the installation, where the welding, what's the joining, what's the result of the welding joint. And we can talking about digital entity. not only now you using the films, but now we have a digital entity. So from there, the digital entity you can store this in the storage, and from there you can track and you can assess this welding Salman, whether it's a part line cut or part line porosity. Here you can easily tracking and also you can repair and also easily to storage. We're talking about also online CPU monitoring. We have a cathodic protection monitoring. This one you can put in the operation also, but sometimes you need to excavate the area. So if you can design earlier where the location before it's buried or backfill the line pipe part line, we can put the wire inside first and then backfill it and we will monitor during the operation. Also is related to string gauge and also online leak detection. So this one can be during operation and can be on design. So depend on the approach of the designer. And lastly, you can feel about talking about alignment sheet generator. You can see that one. The information is maybe taking about satellite or for drone. From there, you can scan that one and can put that one later. You put the alignment sheet, which is this one really used for the installation later. So this one is for one of example for the during the engineering. It can be more. Another thing is basically during operation, inspection, maintenance. Okay, this one I talking about during the operation, which is already brownfield. You cannot touch on the line pad anymore. Already in the buried or maybe in laying in the submarine part line. So in talking about this one, we talking about the approach for automation, also the predictive analytic. You can see the middle IPMs. Basically, now we already have a Petronas integrated pipeline integrity assurance solution, which is a software-based system, so that we can put everything information around there, interface with SAP and also PDMS, and also we can take produce the calculation related for the risk-based inspection, fitness for service, and put that one as a health status of the pipeline. So this is basically the mother of all the thing. So now it's currently phase one. We're going to have a phase two later on this year, towards the interfacing with other software and also all the interfacing with the predictive analytic algorithm, as you can see at the side. Now we're talking about we want to predict freeze fan, the occurrence of the freeze fan, and also occurrence for internal and external corrosion. What's the corrosion growth for that thing? And also third party damage. So third party damage, basically we can have information from the drone, as you mentioned before at the left side, or satellite monitoring. Corrosion basically from our sensor or our, you can see below, wireless robotic motor type. We can detect the internal and external corrosion with eliminate the IP, the region pegging, and also for the information of the flow, pressure transmitter, we need to have a real-time monitoring sensor, which is for the brownfield, we need to allocate a budget to install the sensor. So this information is required for our analysis, and later on input towards the input in the IPMs, and later we calculate that one based on the algorithm predictive analytic surveillance track. Not only that, we also encourage to put using the autonomous aerial inspection instead of a helicopter or manual. And also we also want to use the third party satellite monitoring more on the geohazard area. We have some issue on geohazard. And for autonomous underwater vehicle, we plan to change from the ROV for side scan sonar, because this information very quick, faster, and reliable for our underwater track. Okay. First of all, I think we need to have a qualification and assurance. So basically, for stakeholder, whatever we need to have a product, we need to have they have their confidence of the result of the digital twin. So the following basically is, as I mentioned before, we need a valid and accurate data. Not only data, but need accurate. So this have to check the data quality. Uh, Again, model algorithm. We provide all the algorithm based on the training. So is it good enough? We need to do real validation more because as I mentioned before, rubbish in, rubbish out. So the algorithm very important criteria here and need to have a meaningful result because user interface people want to see the interfacing and also context, maybe the dashboard, clear dashboard like that one. And result is very towards the management, what the level of management want to see. And again, need to have a trustworthy, basically quality indicator. So another one is this digital twin should mirror the physical asset. Basically, based on work process, I think we need to have a same thing. And also, we need to conduct the change management lah. Basically, regarding the how to do the mirror image and also the new one, the physical asset. Not only that, I think matured organization also need to capable maintaining the twin over times because if you develop one something that people said not maintaining it's like gajah putih, something that elephant white elephant. So you develop everything, no maintenance, so it's like nobody can use. So it can be need to state the maintaining of the digital twin. So you need a sustainable system cyclable development and also quality process, what you need to check, and also quality effort and critical function element. Maksudnya confidence level of that thing. And again, the very important is a reliable and secure IT infrastructure. I think we need to have to take top infrastructure because more data is coming. And effective training process for new user, yes, this one basically for the human intervention. I think whatever you need to have a training regarding all this digital twin and also clear and versatile graphic user interface. This one people comment of the all the graphic because sometimes the result is good but the interfacing look like not poor quality. So this is another thing more the this thing. Okay, for conclusion and way forward, basically, digital twin will impact decision from the early design to the commissioning. So hence it's very important to have a confident the digital twin will function as suspect and the information can be trusted. Lack of trust will eliminate the value of provided the digital twin. So this one very important. We have a budget, we want to spend the budget, but the result should be better, very, very good for the management side and also for us. And for your info, currently Petronas pipeline facility, we are processed to transform the existing pipeline cycle into the digital transaction through our initiative. We call it pilot of the future. Basically, aiming to go the interventionless, which is automation, autonomous, and also towards the predictive maintenance. Thus, it will reduce the OPEX, CAPEX, which is our operation expenditure, capital expenditure, and also avoiding major production and development. This is the main objective for us. And also, the digital twin concept require the right and a change in mindset. I think we need to change this thing and acquire the necessary knowledge and skill to cope with the new ways of working. So you can work from the office, you can work anywhere, but the result is can be obtained. And also the support system. I think academics, researchers, I think for this one for UTM, we encourage you, vendor, contractor, shall also be engaged so that they can ready and can provide required assistance solution. So after this, if you have any solution, you can talk to me directly or through Dr. Lim, and we can discuss for further collaboration. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dr. Lim. Ya, Dr. Lim.
I'm sorry, I forgot to open the I mute
Okay.
my mic, so that's why I thought. Okay, thank you, Encik Sirwan, for the informative, simple, and easy to understand session. I believe the viewers would like to have your thoughts on several issues which may or may not related to the topic today's, but somehow let's go for the I open for the question and answer session. So I think we have several questions from the viewers today. Let's see. Okay, from Mr. Hafizuddin Ripin, the question is how much in terms of cost difference from conventional pipe with new pipe with that come with RFID and so on.
Thank you, Hafiz. A very good question. Basically, we haven't started this thing, but of course, it should be higher than that. But we need to thinking about not only that thing. We need to thinking about the life cycle cost. When
Mm,
you put the RFID later on, it's really easy tracking during the construction, and hopefully you can do until operation. So we can talking about the cost is not talking about the only the during the conventional during the manufacturing, but we're talking about the whole life cycle of the pipeline.
okay, thank you. I hope that answer Mr. Afis question. So we have another question from Mr. Muhammad Shamsuri Khalid. Sir, how to justify the depth of pitting and the crack propagation?
Okay, this one is basically out of the topic, but basically, uh,
I think it's
uh,
related with corrosion, if I'm not mistaken.
because we have the assessment, fitness for service, we have a PTS regarding the assessment of this thing. So from there, we need to do the calculation of this thing, assessment. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot justify just like that. We need to do assessment. And regarding that one, we need to have all the depth and also the length of the information, the size of that one, right? Also, before we do that analysis.
All right. Yeah, of course. Everything must have uh, justify and what should be followed with the manual and technical standards lah, right?
Yes.
So
But
um, mhm. And I also have one question. I will not miss the opportunity. So currently, I'm working with research related with GIS, Geography Information System. So
okay.
can this GIS can it be one of the tools for this digital twin, Encik Sirwan? And have
Uh,
Petronas introduced in any of the maybe the pipeline inspection program or whatnot?
okay. The GIS, we already have a system. We call it PERI GIS. All the information onshore, offshore is all reside on the PERI GIS. And PERI GIS all taking everything, information of the geographic, all geohazard information. That was basically taking the information from the site. Like drone also, satellite also will reside on that GIS. And from
Mhm,
there, the information from the GIS we take interface with the GIS through the IPIMS. IPIMS
mhm,
our software analysis. So anything
mhm,
like information that GIS related to the geohazard,
mhm,
class allocation, all that, we calculate in the IPIMS. So
mhm,
we have got the platform that so you can put
mhm,
everything there. So we have a system there. Only the
mhm.
thread. Okay, but the thread, we can manage the thread.
Alright. So I think it's because we have another the second MCO now. So
Okay.
maybe can you share how this digital twin helps Petronas to moving forward without any shortcomings due to this MCO.
Okay. This one is very relevant question because
Mm.
MCO affect our quality,
Yep.
not quality. I mean entering the office, but
Yeah, yeah.
work doesn't stop there. I think
Yeah.
from the communication to the computer, all that, the work still going. I think algorithm still doing. I think you can do from the computer wherever you do. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a set meeting, in terms of follow up meeting, progress meeting, all that to check
Mm-hmm.
that thing. So work doesn't stop. Maybe if I can say it's more productivity because we got every time meeting. So in
Oh,
the last time in the office you can attend few meeting because maybe it's not office, maybe other office. But
yeah.
here you can set few meeting here. So think
Agree.
maybe more than that. More than that. Sometimes like in KL traffic jam, you need to go by 5 or 6 to home.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you can work until 7. No, because still there. I think we need to think about the work life balance also lah.
Yalah, of course.
So basically, it's better stop lah. I think you need to concentrate with your family also. Yeah.
Yes, it's good. Sure, sure. Agree with that.
So
Mm-hmm. So, in terms of like on-site inspection, for example, would it be affected due to this MCO, or the
no,
inspection still done? Oh,
uh,
okay,
inspection still going because we plan already this one because it's a risk based inspection.
okay.
So from there we already target when did to do the inspection. So
Okay,
in the operation side, it's not no, it's still ongoing. Only
okay.
the effect basically the office side lah.
All
But the
right.
site is still ongoing. No
But
change.
so they are implementing the SOP as well, and
Yes, of
when
course.
okay. So MCO or no MCO, life must go on. Okay. I think is there any questions? I I think from the Facebook there is no more question, and then I also asked lots of question, but it's okay. It's good to have
It's okay.
you again, Cik Sirwan,
Yep.
and looking forward to collaborate with you again in the
Uh,
future. So
so
I thank you for the answer and explanation. I think this is the end of the 11th, no 19th Leaders as Enterprise session. I hope the viewers have a fruitful and informative mind-opening session with our honorable speaker, Encik Sirwan. And I liberally thank all the viewers for spending your time with us in this live session. Please not to worry because this session can be replayed anytime you like because it's recorded. So again, thank you, Encik Sirwan. I hope the collaboration is going uh, fruitfully next and in the near future, inshallah. Okay.
thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.
Lanjutkan
Assalamualaikum.
aktiviti. Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
of course. Okay.
Okay,
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.
salam. Bye.
What's this? Okay.